Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to 10 Minutes Daily Cafe Chat. I'm Emily.
And I am Lisa. It is Sunday, April 19th, 2026.
Sunday, the softest day of the week. So true. My brain is basically still asleep right now. Same. I have had 2 cups of coffee and I am still staring at the wall.
That is called Sunday brain. It is a real condition.
I believe it. I tried to read the news this morning and my eyes just drifted off the page.
Honestly, that is the correct Sunday response.
Anyway, somehow we are going to talk about 3 amazing stories today.
Caffeine is kicking in. I'm ready. What do we have?
First, astronauts just came home from the moon for the first time in over 50 years. Wait, what? Already? Yes. Then a brand new baby dinosaur was named after a cartoon character. And finally, a famous college in the US is closing its doors after 60 years. Okay, that lineup woke me up. Space, dinosaurs, and a goodbye story. And if you are new here, welcome. Every morning we take real news and turn it into natural English conversation. 10 minutes, perfect for your coffee break.
Hit subscribe and join us every day. We really love having you here.
Okay, and we have a key word connecting all 3 stories today.
Ooh, get it to me.
Today's key word is chapter.
Chapter. Oh, I like that one.
Every story today is about opening, discovering, or closing a chapter in history. That is such a Sunday kind of word. Let's get into it.
Okay, first story. NASA just welcomed the Artemis II crew back home after their trip around the moon.
Wait, this really happened? Humans actually flew to the moon again?
They did. 4 astronauts launched on April 1st and splashed down off the coast of San Diego on April 10th.
10 days. Just 10 days to the moon and back.
Right? And this is the first time humans have flown that deep into space in over 50 years.
50 years? My parents were not even born yet the last time this happened.
Same. The crew has 4 people: Reed Weissman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen from the Canadian Space Agency.
Oh, it was an international crew. I love that.
And Christina Koch just became the woman who has traveled the farthest from Earth in history.
Okay, that is such a huge milestone. I did not even know we were due for that record.
Jeremy Hansen also became the first Canadian to ever fly this close to the moon.
So a lot of firsts packed into 10 days. That is a big deal for Canada, too.
They flew on a brand new spacecraft called Orion, launched by a brand new rocket called SLS. Both were on their first crewed flight ever.
Wait, first crewed flight? So they were basically testing everything with humans inside?
Pretty much. And here's the number that really got me. They flew 252,756 miles from Earth.
That is a number I cannot even picture.
It's the farthest any human has ever been from Earth. It actually broke the record set by Apollo 13 back in 1970.
Okay, that is wild. They beat a record that stood for over 50 years.
And they flew right past the moon, came within about 4,000 miles of the surface. So they could literally see craters out the window. They took over 7,000 photos. They even captured a solar eclipse from the spacecraft. A solar eclipse from space. That's a view no one else on Earth got. I know. It honestly feels like the start of a whole new chapter for space travel.
The word chapter really fits. This is chapter 1, and chapter 2 is hopefully landing on the surface.
Exactly. NASA is planning Artemis III to actually land, and this flight proved the hardware works.
I love how casually you said the hardware works. That hardware kept 4 humans alive.
Fair point. Huge day for space fans everywhere.
Huge. I'm going to be thinking about this all day.
Okay, story 2. Scientists discovered a brand new species of dinosaur, and they named it after a cartoon character.
After a cartoon? This already sounds amazing.
The scientific name is Dulisaurus humani. The first part, Dulisaurus, comes from Dooley.
Dooley! Is that the little green baby dinosaur from the old Korean cartoon?
That is the one, a cute, mischievous little green baby dinosaur, basically a national icon in South Korea.
Oh, that is so sweet. And I bet the real dinosaur even looks a bit like the cartoon version.
Kind of, yeah. The fossil is a baby, too, about 2 years old, turkey-sized, around 8 kilograms.
That is the size of a large house cat. I love that.
And scientists think it may have had fuzzy, hair-like filaments on its skin.
So a fluffy little baby dinosaur? This is too cute.
Right? Not scaly like the ones in old movies, more like a little feathery creature.
My whole mental image of dinosaurs keeps getting softer.
It was found on a small island off the southwest coast of South Korea back in 2023.
Wait, 2023? So they have been studying it this whole time?
They have. Researchers at the University of Texas at Austin used a micro-CT scanner to look inside the rock.
Oh, so basically a hospital-style scan for a fossil?
Exactly. And that revealed parts of the skull and teeth that had been completely hidden.
That is really cool, like an X-ray unlocking a secret.
And here's the big deal. This is the first dinosaur skull recovered in South Korea in 15 years. 15 years is a long gap. That's a whole new chapter for Korean paleontology. Right? And they even found over 40 tiny stones in its stomach area, gastroliths. Stomach stones? What were those for? Dinosaurs swallowed them to help grind up food. It tells us this little guy was an omnivore.
So baby Dooley ate plants and little critters. Honestly, that checks out for a 2-year-old.
Right? Always snacking on whatever. A mood, honestly. The species name humani honors a Korean paleontologist who founded the country's dinosaur research center.
I love that. A national cartoon and a national scientist all in one name.
And the lead author on the paper is actually a young Korean researcher at that same Texas lab.
So a Korean scientist naming a Korean dinosaur after a Korean cartoon. That's a full circle story.
Okay, last story, and this one is a little bittersweet.
Okay. Bring me in gently.
A college in Massachusetts called Hampshire College just announced it is closing its doors.
Oh no, a whole college closing?
After the fall semester this year, the school was founded in 1965, so almost 60 years of history.
60 years? That is a whole generation of graduates.
It was a really unique place. No traditional grades. Students basically designed their own majors.
Wait, no grades? I would have loved that in school.
Right? They evaluated you with written feedback instead of letters. A very experimental place from the start. That actually sounds amazing. Like school the way school should feel. And one of their most famous graduates is Ken Burns.
Oh, the documentary filmmaker, the Civil War, the jazz series, all of those big projects.
That Ken Burns. He even donated $5 million to help keep the school alive.
So people really tried to save it.
They really did. In 2020, they launched a $60 million fundraising campaign. They tried new enrollment plans, sold some land, refinanced debt.
That is a lot of effort, and none of it was enough?
None of it was enough. The school said it simply does not have the resources to keep going.
That is heartbreaking, especially for a place that was so unique.
And the school president said something that really stuck with me. She called it an incredibly painful moment for the community.
I can only imagine. The students, the staff, the alumni, everyone is losing something.
And honestly, Hampshire is not alone. Small colleges all over the U.S. are closing right now.
Really? Why is this happening?
A few reasons. Fewer high school graduates, fewer people choosing college after the pandemic, and rising costs.
So basically, demand is shrinking while costs keep going up.
Exactly. And small schools without huge endowments are the ones that get squeezed first.
That makes me sad. The smaller, more personal places are often the most special.
Right? And this is the closing chapter for a school that started as an experiment in free thinking.
That word chapter hits different here. One chapter ends, but everyone who passed through it still carries it with them.
Beautifully said. That part does not close.
Thanks for walking us through that one gently.
Okay, that was our Sunday lineup. 3 stories all about chapters.
A new chapter opening up in space, a chapter from 100 million years ago being discovered, and a chapter closing after 60 years.
It is kind of wild when you put it like that. Time moving in every direction at once.
That is the perfect Sunday thought. My brain is finally awake.
And we have a question for our listeners today.
Which chapter story hit you the most? Was it A, the Artemis II crew making history by flying to the moon? B, the baby dinosaur named after a Korean cartoon character? Or C, Hampshire College closing its doors after 60 years?
I am going with B. A fluffy little dooley dinosaur is pure Sunday magic.
I am going with A. Humans flying that close to the moon again in our lifetime still feels unreal to me.
Let us know your pick in the comments. A, B, or C. Any language is totally fine.
And a bonus question, since Dooley got us thinking, what cartoon character did you love when you were a kid?
Yes, share your childhood favorite too. Even better if you still love them now.
Today's keyword again, just to lock it in.
Chapter. A section of a book or a period of time in someone's life.
Try using it in a sentence this week. A new chapter in my career, the best chapter of my life.
I might say, this was a great chapter of my Sunday. Too much?
Not at all. It works perfectly. Okay, I'm using it all day now.
If you enjoyed today's chat, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.
And if you've been shadowing along with us every morning, you are doing amazing. Keep going.
We're back tomorrow with 3 brand new stories. Same time, same cafe.
Have a gentle, slow Sunday, everyone. Take care of yourself today.
Enjoy your coffee, enjoy the quiet. See you tomorrow.
Bye.